Welcome, welcome. I hope my microphone is working. I just put it back in. Good morning. It's morning for me. It might not be morning for you, but whether it is or isn't, hopefully you're having a fabulous moment in your day. I am going to be talking about my classroom and ways that I will set it up to promote a variety of positive outcomes. So up here, you can see this is my classroom. This is where you enter and exit. There is a binder drop here. This may change with COVID because students might keep their stuff together, but someday, post-COVID and pre-COVID, this is binder drop so that students could kind of have less distractions at their desks. These are the students' desk where they work together. Here's the board and overhead. Here's my desk, and then there's an extra in work/individual table, like if a student needs a break from somebody else, or sometimes I had my teaching assistants working here, like prepping projects, or just for me to prep projects. There's an extra table here. Student cubbies are right here. They don't actually go all the way over to my desk. This is more storage, but student cubbies are here for their own work, where they all have their individual little moment. And then over here, I have my expectation corner. So here I have my like posters that have my expectations. These are not my expectations, but I just use this as an anchor. But I do have my posters over here that remind students what the expectations are, and then help them, remember. So that, if I'm teaching here and we're having some behavior stuff, I can come over here to start having that conversation and use some of those strategies to kind of use placement as a way to redirect. A couple other things that I incorporate into my classroom. I got these fluorescent light covers on half of my lights that look like little blue skies so that I can toggle between bright lights, these kind of middle lights, and then no lights. And so I have some options because I have these blue fluorescent lights, which just kind of brings the sensory intensity down for some of my students, which is really nice. Also on the front bulletin board, I'm going to be painting my wall black actually. So this here represents that, although it's interesting because the bulletin board here is black, but I'm actually going to have kind of the opposite where I have the whole wall is black and then the bulletin boards are going to be gray and white, just because it'll help kind of, once again, bring that sensory overwhelmingness down and have them really focus on what I'm teaching. Back here where it says plants, that's there's a bunch of shelves here, and on top I always put plants, which I think just gives like a visual calmness. It kind of grounds students, and it makes me happy because that's the way I stare, and it just brings me joy. And then I have all of these shelves, and I'm going to be rainbow coating it, which I think for an art classroom is just going to be really visually appealing, one, and then really that's where I keep all of my still life equipment, all of my books, a lot of my news articles and things. So I'm just going to be rainbow coating that. So that's what this anchor is here. And then I'm hoping I'm going to order for this. This is a window here, but there's a big space above the windows where I'm going to order like a wall mural with the color wheel on it. So just another moment of color, but I can also reference it for my material. I think that's it. I think that's like the majority of my classroom stuff. I mean, over here we have some storage for student stuff back down this little hallway, but you can't really see that. I didn't add that because that's not where students go. My office is right over here, but students don't really go in there. I actually had a very different setup for my classroom, and I worked pretty extensively with my instructional coach to come up with this setup because it just worked a lot better for my students. So not only have I done the literature piece and the research piece and the trial and error piece, and I'm still like thinking of new amazing ways to do it, but I've also worked with individuals that have more experience than me and kind of setting this up in a way that's hopefully going to be the most successful for my students. All right, thank you so much. Oh, by the way, my name is Alicia Helbling. Thanks.